All right, so for today, you need to complete the ratio table, then plot the points. So it says Haley's allowance is $5 per week. So in 1 week, she earns $5. So you have to figure out, well, the pattern that's going on. What did they do to 1 to get to 2? Well, they times it by 2. So then you have to do 5 times 2, which is 10. Then you have to ask yourself, okay, what did they do to 1 to get to 3? Well, 1 times 3. So you have to do 5 times 3, which gives you 15. Then you have to sit here and say, okay, what do they do to 4? 1 to get to 4. 1 times 4. So 5 times 4 is 20. Then you got to ask yourself, what did they do to 1 to get to 5? 1 times 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. All right. So the next step that we are going to go into is then taking what we know of creating tables and now graphing it. So your first column is your X. Your second column of your table, your dollars, is your Y. And your ordered pair is when you have in your parentheses X comma Y. Okay, this should look familiar, your X and your Y and your X and your Y, because you learned this in 5th grade and plotting points on a graph. You also may know it because you've played Battleship at one point. So your ordered pairs. So your first is your X. Now your X is your horizontal. So you would label your X as your weeks. Then you have your Y, which is your dollars, that's going up and down. So that's your Y. So now that we have our labels, now we have to label our ordered pair. So if we're looking at our ordered pair, our X's are 1, comma, our dollars is our 5, so 1 comma 5. Then we have 2 as our X and 10 as our Y. Then we have 3 as our X and 15 as our Y. We have 4 as our X and 20 as our Y. And then we have 5 as our X and 25 as our Y. So now we have to plot these. So 1 comma 5. So we always start at 0, which is our point of origin. And you always walk to your X. So I'm going to walk to my X. And then I have to fly, meaning you go up when you fly, to my 5. Fly to my 5. So I put a dot on 1, 5. Okay. Then I have 2, 10. So I will take my dot. I will walk to my 2 and fly to my 10. I'll take my dot. I'll start at my point of origin. I'll walk to my 3, fly to my 15. Okay, 420 is next. So I'm going to start at my point of origin. I'm going to walk to my X and fly to my Y, which is 420. Then 525. So I'm going to start at my point of origin. I'm going to walk to my 5, walk to my 5, fly to my 25. So now we have graphed the table we've created. So we had worked on all week and a little bit of last week making a ratio table. Now we're taking that table and now graphing it. So here's our graph.